pointed room to let them kind of stretch their legs and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Do these make
Right back to the other side.
Oh, he's like just like my dog. Oh,
You're too much. I can't handle that.
can't handle any of these. Oh, stop it. No, stop. You.
You're all so cute. Oh my gosh, that was so cute.
You look just like my dog, only my dog was a little bit chunky.
We call it open adoption, so pretty much people can walk throughout the shelter and look at all the animals, even if they're in the stray hold, and if they're neuter and return feral cats or community cats. So if those cats come in, they're unsocialized, they get. You guys are redonkulous.
Oh goodness, look at them. Aww.
So cute.
They're so adorable.
Is the one that she adopted. And these are actually, she's still lactating. We try to bring.
So, I mean, it's pretty common what breeds are discriminated against. Often there's certain weight limits, like, 45 pounds and above, and then typically your bully breeds will be discriminated against, as well as sometimes you'll have Shepherds in there, sometimes you'll have Dobermans or Rottweilers, or maybe like your Chows or Shar-Peis, but probably the biggest discrimination or breedism that you see is against bully breeds. So, on average, we take in about 75 animals per day, 7 days a week here in the city of Dallas. And last year we took in about 28,000 dogs and cats. We do get a fair amount of owner surrenders, more so for dogs than cats. Their main reasons are going to be probably moving, or something in their situation has changed that they just can no longer keep or care for the pet. Sometimes the pet's injured or ill and they just don't have the resources to pay for medical care for the pet. Certainly moving, just changes in circumstance, or maybe their pets were spayed or neutered and now they've reproduced and now there's just too many. So I would say those are probably the more common reasons why people relinquish their pets. I would say a lot of the owner surrenders are not related to abuse. We do get a few questionable surrenders that we'll see when owners are bringing pets in that I will ask our officers to follow up with. And typically in those situations, I would say it's kind of more of a benign neglect to a certain extent. Well, maybe not benign if they're that serious, but the animal may come in very thin condition, or may have an ongoing medical condition that doesn't look like it was addressed, that a lay person would recognize and see that the animal needs care. So a lot of the animals that we have on the streets here in the city of Dallas, at least as far as dogs go, I would say are loose owned pets. So a lot of these animals that we see are actually owned by people, and people are just not in compliance and following the laws, and they're letting their pets roam. I think there's very few, maybe 25% of the animals that we see walking on the streets that are truly stray animals. And some of these animals, it's going to be a very different experience. I think your animals that are very social and want to be with people, it's going to be a much harder time being on the streets in a street environment, especially if they're not, street savvy. They're used to being fed by someone. Whereas your truly kind of stray feral dogs and feral cats do very well on their own. So they've survived this long, they know how to get around, they know where their food sources are. We're very successful with adoptions right now. So we're probably averaging about hopefully 600 to 700 adoptions a month, which is certainly increased from where it was years ago. It's probably about half of the animals coming in each day leave each day through adoption. So we certainly look to our transfer partners to pull animals out of the shelter and then returning animals to their owner as another way to get animals out alive. We always want to do more adoptions, certainly. We do a number of adoption specials to really encourage people to think about coming to the shelter to adopt their pet. So we don't put a time limit on any of the animals that are here. So as long as they're doing medically healthy and behaviorally healthy, we will continue to promote them for adoption or work with our transfer partners to get them placed in. So once we've had them here for a while, we get very attached to them certainly too. So it's very rare that they will get euthanized unless something really dramatically changes, that maybe their behavior just significantly changes because they've been locked up for a while, so they can go cage crazy, and they're just not doing well. So if we can't find a partner to take them and we don't have any other outlets for them, sometimes they will be euthanized. But we try very hard, if an animal's been here a long period of time, certainly to get them out to an adoption or to a transfer partner. So when they come in, we take in any animal that's presented to us. So some shelters, especially non-city shelters, have the option of kind of choosing who they're going to take in. So we're taking every animal that's presented to us. And I would say probably about a quarter to a third of the animals that we take in are considered pretty unhealthy. It doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily be euthanized. We often try to work with partners to still get them out, but they have some significant medical or behavioral challenges, and that's how they get deemed unhealthy. A number, probably about 50% of the other animals have some sort of issue going on, but something hopefully that we can manage or treat. We'll often see some parasites that are pretty easy to treat. Maybe they have a few spots of mange that's pretty easy to treat. So things that we can kind of deal with and fix. And then probably the other 25% are pretty healthy, well-adjusted, social pets that come in, and we have to do very minimal things for them to make them presentable, to the public. I do think it's a very important situation that we have here, certainly in the city of Dallas, and pretty much all throughout Texas and a fair number of other states. Arizona is in a very similar situation. And I do think it should be a priority, but it needs to be a people priority. So it's not so much a dog issue as it is a people issue. So we have huge compliance issues of getting people to comply with the law. So if we had people that complied with the law, can find their pets, spay and neuter their pets, we wouldn't have the issues that we have. We would have a much more manageable issue that really could be dealt with efficiently. But the situation we're in right now is it's a people issue, and we just don't have enough resources to go door to door to educate everyone. So we really do rely on the citizens and leadership to help provide that education, to let people know, what you need to do to come in compliance and the resources that there are out there to come into compliance. So those are often the last dogs to get adopted in a shelter environment, so we really try to highlight those guys and draw people's attention to them. So I don't know why. Same with black cats, and I mean, black cats may be the more kind of historical myths that go with them, but I don't know, I guess, I don't know if people find them more threatening or what. They're adorable. They're adorable.
See, he's born with a birth defect. So you see? Look. See, this is how, I don't know how he injured his paw. But he's
Has he been looked at already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But see, he may need to go to like an emergency.
Yeah, did we send any pictures today?
No, I don't think
He's
so.
injured too? Alright, I'll let you know.
Anyway, this is his actual paw.
Oh my gosh.
He was actually born like that. But how did he get it crushed like that? I don't know. This is a recent one.
Did he come in yesterday or
No,
today?
he just came just a little while ago. She gave him some
Did we put anything on it?
pain meds, no? She told me don't put no SSD or anything on it.
She didn't want you to?
Yearly?
Yes.
Like,
Monthly or yearly?
you know, we have over 300 animals in the shelter at any given time. last year we adopted out 4,387 all in all, total cats and dogs. So we adopt out a lot, so a lot come in. About 50% of our animals come from city shelters, which I would say probably 60-70% of those are probably stray. 25% more are stray that just walk-ins. So if you say maybe 60% of 4,000 would get adopted. The pain and suffering they go through, you've seen firsthand, hit by a car. I've had people say my dog was killed by a coyote, bobcats. South Dallas, you'll have people that throw rocks. We've had somebody that saw a dog tied up on a street corner and kids were throwing rocks at it, so she untied it, put it in her car, brought it here. People are cruel. You know, not very many, and abuse is a big word. It could be just neglect.
Yeah.
Not very many. Most of the animals we have here they're social, they're adoptable. I'd probably say maybe 10% of the animals that are probably abused, malnourished, ignored. We took in a hoarder, 26 dogs from a hoarder that a pit bull lived a year and a half in a bathtub, closed up, all its life, never been out, never cleaned. They just poured food on top of the feces and everything. That's abuse. Everybody gets adopted here. If there's a dog here that's been here a while, and usually it's a big dog, if it's been here for 2 years, we'll find a sanctuary for it. And a sanctuary, they can still get adopted out of a sanctuary, but at least they can go and run free. Most animals are not. I say probably 40% of the animals that we may have to do weight control on, or that are malnourished. A lot of dogs, probably 70% of the dogs come in with heartworm, which heartworm is deadly unless you treat it. We have a lot of dogs that are heartworm. You know, it's totally different in other countries. For instance, India. India has a huge population of stray animals that they don't take care of, and those animals will bite. We have packs in South Dallas that end up biting. Mexico, there's packs that bite. We don't have the problem as much that we do in other countries, but yes, it is a problem because people just throw their animals away outside. They dump them in the country. See, we have kind of an external apparatus on to keep his bones together. Yeah, he's a good boy.
How long ago was this?
That's a good question. Found on a highway. Hit by a car. We took her little leg off, which is okay, but see, she gets around.
How long ago was this?
Do you know, Vincent?
In like 3 weeks,
3 weeks,
roughly.
something like that. And she's how old is she? 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
She was found on the
see
side
about
of the road?
Yeah. Highway. Side of the highway. She's been hit by a car. Somebody brought her in.
So her ears got a little
Yeah.
messed up.
Your ears got a little messed up. Oh no, see, but that's okay. We don't care. We just care that you're healthy.
Good boy. There you go. Good boy. What happened to it? I know it's sweet getting done. Poor guy. Last time I came in here, he had a toy the same way. Oh, I don't know what happened. He's okay.
He's just so cute. What are you doing? That is so uncomfortable. But you're so cute.
Isn't he cute? How old is he? I think he's 5. So that's as big as he's gonna get.
Aww.
Which is pretty big. You're a pretty good boy. Yes, you are. Yeah, he has heartworms, so. And she's probably been here 2.5, 3 months.
Aww.
But he's such a good boy. He just usually lays down all day, and even when you take him outside, he just wants to hang out. He's not really a crazy boy. You're a good boy. You're shedding a lot. He's probably really hot in here. Area. We have up to 200 animals at any given time here at this shelter. We also have a McKinney shelter. They can hold about the same number of animals. This here is Barry. Barry's my favorite dog right now. He's been here for a while. He's heartworm positive, so it's harder for him to get adopted. Not only is he a big boy, but he's also, like I said, has heartworms. But what not a lot of people realize is that we have a partnership with VCA Animal Hospitals, and they provide heartworm treatment for free once they're adopted. So that's very helpful. I like to try and catch people when they're looking at the dogs, and if I overhear somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, I don't want this one, he has heartworms," you know, I'll go up to him and be like, "Well, actually, as long as you have the time to take them to the vet, then you can get them treated for free." We have a few puppies right now, so we have puppy and kitten season kind of just started, so it's around springtime where you'll just see a ton of puppies and kittens. It's a thing, I don't know why, that's just how it works. But yeah, we have, as you can see, she's a mama, baby Ruth. But they're all spayed and neutered, up to date on vaccinations. I can tell you just came out because you're terrified. So cute. He also just had a haircut, looks like. This is our area. This guy just got neutered, so he has a cone of shame on. Hi. This is our front lobby. So yeah, we have Germix all over the place just because we ask people to just put some on before going into different pods with different animals, just to keep from diseases from spreading in case they are around. There are no 90-degree angles in any of the pods or really any of the shelter. We did that to reduce to make it easier to clean. So when it's a 90-degree angle, things tend to get stuck in there. So we designed it to make it as easily cleanable as possible.
So this was specifically built like for this?
Mm-hmm. Well, the building was here, but we had it completely redone to kind of match what we need for our animals. And we wanted to make it a happy place instead of a sad, like your typical shelter doesn't look like this. And we wanted people to come in and be happy when they see the animals. And so Sister here has been here for a while too. So we put crates in pods where dogs maybe need a quote-unquote little home. When they're shy or they feel stressed, they can go into those crates. It really, really helps behavior-wise. This is Romeo. Poor guy, still really pink. He came in completely hairless, completely pink from mange. He is a rescue case. And he's still pretty pink, but he's a lot better. So cute. Oh, different dog. He looks totally different. Those eyelashes are so great.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What we call apartments. So they're either not getting along with other cats, or they're under some sort of medication. Most of them is because they just like to be alone. And then these guys are in our kitty lofts. They launch their cats.
She has a dress on. Oh, that's cute.
No kids. Do you not like kids?
Oh, it's so cute. Her name is Zeus. No, you hate me. Can't do that. The black ones are so cute. I know.
Is it biting you?
Like, kind of, not really.
Like licking and
yeah.
biting? Kind of.
Hi, Marta. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, it's called Big Black Dog Syndrome. We actually have a black special right now. 25% off black dogs and cats for this month.
Hey, hi, Treasure. Hi, Billy.
He's at He was rescued. He was a stray, and we learned that because of his demeanor and behavior, we learned that he was probably a fighting dog. So we have him. He has to be a special only in adoption because he does fight other dogs.